Good morning, sir.
So, well, everybody, good morning. Hope all of you are well. Well, I think yesterday we stopped our discussion. Right, our discussion in intellectual property right. Yes, plagiarism we did.
Intellectual
Uh,
property
uh,
right.
Free open source software. Yesterday we stopped here, I think. Is it?
No, sir. We have done the following list. Sir, this list we have done.
What?
Till simple license management.
We did not discuss this free and open source software.
Sir, discuss.
I think we discussed. Where we stopped, let's start from there. Open source software already we have discussed. That was free software, and one is free software and is open source software. The main point is the difference between free and open source software. In open source software, the source codes are freely available along with the software, and in free software, softwares are freely available but not the source code. So this is a difference. Free software are without any money. You will get the free license without paying any money. Without paying, you can get download and use it, but you cannot get the the source code of the software. But in open source, is it freely downloadable, as well as the source code is also available. And the purpose of this open source forum is to create more and more free softwares where everyone can join and take their part to participate in this project for software development for the common people. Well, so next point is cyber crime and cyber law. This is the time of era of cyber crime. The software now we are using. Few weeks back, our government has circulated a circular for the safety of this software, because in safety point of view, this software was not meeting many situation. So government has instructed to use it very carefully. Can anyone say what special measures had to be taken or was instructed to take to use this software? I'm not taking the name because it is getting recorded. That's why I'm not taking the name. Anyone can say?
Can you repeat?
For this specific software we are using, which precautions had to be taken? Now they have updated their version. Now they are claiming that those issues are no more. The security issues are no more for what it was accused. Two things they have told. One is always use password to conduct a meeting, number one. And number two, time to time you you remove all those
we have to update this meeting app, sir, time to time.
Yes. So updated software should be there, and you must remove the use always password, and frequently keep on changing the passwords. These are the two things they have instructed for the users, for the common users. These were not safety issue is not for us, especially safety issue was for the other, for the, governments and transactions. Many important files are sent from here to there, so it comes through the common mass, so they can hack it. Even same problem is arising with, I think yesterday there was a news, Google Meet also facing the same problem, and Microsoft also. So these are the part of why I'm talking, because these are the part of cyber crime. So without your knowledge, if I peep, if I take, if I read, if I access, if I download, then download your data, any information, it comes under cyber crime. So here are various. So definition, what is the definition? Cyber crime is the use of computers and network, especially it is in internet, to perform illegal activities such as spreading computer viruses, online bullying, performing unauthorized electronic fraud transfer, and so on. Cyberbullying, spreading computer viruses, illegal activities, criminal activities, antisocial activities, especially nowadays in electronic or unauthorized electronic fraud transfers. Then money transfers, stealing of money, not only in computer, in mobile, or even in ATMs also. ATM is also part of internet and computer application on internet. So these have been divided into various sections. Number one, computer fraud. It is intentional description of the personal gain via use of computer system. Using computer, if for our personal use, if I make any crime, criminal activity, any kind of criminal activity through computer, privacy violation, exposing someone's personal information, email address, phone number, etc. Identify thief, stealing personal information, or any kind of stuff which is belonging to other person without his knowledge. Sharing copyright files. If I send some ebooks, any multimedia files which is not mine, unauthorized, if unauthorized person send such files to others, this is copyright. It comes under Copyright Information Act. Electronic fund transfer. This is being done very extensively nowadays. Electronic money laundering, ATM fraud, and denial of service attacks. In high level, this cybercrime takes place. Denial of service attacks. What is this? As we are connected to server, so there are some groups who always get fun to damage the servers, the functionality of the server. What they do, they hide their identity, and from multiple places, hiding their identity, they continuously attack on the system, on the server, and break the functionality of the server. This is called denial of the service attack. Spam. Every day we face the same problem. Huge amount of emails, useless emails, emails of advertisements. Those are, occupying our memory space. Email address. This is called the spam. Sending unauthorized emails to various people. So these all are coming under the cyber crime. Anyone wants to say anything more than these? Anyone wants to put some idea? Everyone will listen him related to cyber crime. I think most of the points have been covered. Next, how to protect it. The cyber law is there. International cyber law, national cyber law. Every country has their own cyber law. In India also, we are having our own cyber law. Initially, it was introduced in 2000, Information Technology Act 2000. Please remember the year. Initially, Information Technology Act, IT Act, introduced in 2000, and then in 2008, one amendment was made to protect our amendment on cyber law was made, so to protect our online activities, to protect from such cyber attacks. So and definitely, if law is there, punishment is also there. So various punishments are there. We are not supposed to discuss all those types of punishment. There are a lot of things are there. So just remember, by 2000, IT Act was introduced in India, and in 2008, it was amendment was made, and new updated law has come, IT Act 2008, to as a safeguard of cyber crime, and to punish the criminals. So, as especially for the youth, we are very much. I think most of you and many of you must be very much interested about hacking and all. So these are very interesting for the youth, because most of the hackers are across the world are within the age of 18 to 30. In India, it says every minute 5 to 6 complaints are being lodged. Every minute. I think it is old record. It is last year's record, 5 to 6. Now it must have increased. So maybe it is about 10. I don't know. It is the record of the last year. 5 to 6 records are being lodged in every minute in India. And most of the criminals which are pointed out are within the age of 18 to 30. So it's a big issue nowadays. Most of them do it out of fun. Some of them are there which they are doing for stealing money, but most of them do it out of fun. Let us see, let us enjoy. So, and definitely they are being punished out of the fun. Just a second. I would like to show you one small video clip on cybercrime. Would you like to see? Hello? Small video on cybercrime.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Small video clip. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
Is it visible? Screen is visible? The blue screen, new
Yes, sir.
screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, listen.
Africa loses $3.5 billion annually to cybercrime. The internet has evolved, and so have criminal organizations that use it as a platform to conduct illegal trade, such as counterfeit drugs, human trafficking, wildlife trafficking, to name a few. Online platforms are also used to infiltrate, impersonate, defraud, and recruit innocent victims for various criminal activities. According to Interpol, internet or cyber-enabled crimes such as fraud, human and wildlife trafficking, money laundering, sale of drugs, and distribution of child pornography, among others, are notable indicators of the current trends in various global criminal enterprises. As the African continent rises higher in the ranks of technological awakening and inclusion, much more needs to be done to combat cybercrime by governments, law practitioners, IT experts, advocates, and individual users. AGA-AAP is working in collaboration with African anti-cybercrime actors in 8 countries to enhance our joint capacity to detect, investigate, and prosecute cyber-related crimes which are often transborder. The AGA-AAP program does this through sharing experiences and the training of investigators, prosecutors, and the judiciary. If you'd like to find out more about the AGA-AAP program, we'd love to hear from you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our social media platforms on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can
So it was a small clip. Anyway, so the cyber law is day by day, it is becoming more tightened. Now hacking. Who would like to speak on hacking? Anyone? Let me ask today. Just a minute. Liakshanan, you speak something here on hacking. What is hacking? What do you understand by hacking? Liakshi, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell something now, or not prepared?
Sir,
Hacking? Yes. How does it take place? How do you define in hacking? Which incident do you define as it is an incident of hacking?
When someone uses our devices without our authorization or permission and leak our private and important information on net.
Exactly. Say you have your own website. You have your own website, and suddenly you found that you are unable to open your website using your password and ID. And the message comes, you are unauthorized user. You will be surprised because every day you are opening and updating your website. Suddenly you are not able to open it. What happened? Somebody must have stolen your ID and password of your site, and he is using your site as he is the owner. So your site has been hacked. Now what you are supposed to do, you have to make a complaint that I am the actual owner and my site has been hacked. So without your knowledge, somebody if steals your site, it is kind of hacking. And phishing, I will also come. Both those are close to each other, but there is small difference. So what is the definition says? Hacking is identifying weakness of your computer system or network to exploit the weakness of the weakness to gain access. Example of hacking: using password cracking algorithm and gain the access of the system. Website is also an online system. Your works are all kept in your website. Due to your weakness of your system, how he managed to get your ID password? Normally it is not possible. Only say simple thing. You went out of your home, somebody entered in your home, opening your door using a duplicate key, and he has stolen everything. He's staying inside your room, your house without your permission. How it is possible? It is only possible due to my weakness. So what is that weakness? I have not kept my system updated. I have not kept my system with proper password protection or antivirus protection, spam protection, and due to that somebody entered and taken everything from me. So this is called hacking. Sometimes people also takes my system in their own custody from remote control, by remote control. Everything, whatever I am doing in my system is being taken, recorded by some other person. How? Because of the weakness of my system. He must have landed some software which is taking all the information from it. Though it is not exactly hacking, it has a different name that is called phishing. I'll come on that point. So such kind of activities are called the hacking. Now there are some ethical hacking also. The word ethical hacking also comes. Hacking is always hacking, but ethical hacking is to protect hacking, to make the people aware of hacking. That is called ethical hacking. I am hacking, but to protect you. As police force, police are a bigger thief, but they are thief to protect you. They know all the techniques of stealing more than the common thief and dacoits. But they are doing to protect us. They know all the loopholes of our weaknesses. But they use this knowledge for our protection. Similarly, ethical hacking is also hacking, but to protect the common innocent people. Few points are there. They hack with written permission of the owner, say, or the system before hacking. So they said that yes, I am going to enter your system without your help, but I am informing him before. This is not hacking. This is ethical hacking. Protect the privacy of the organization being hacked. Any organization, bank, office, or other organization, to protect their privacy. Some knowledgeable hackers are posted there. They are always working throughout the day to protect their data from hacking. They are also hackers, but they know how to hack. How the hackers could come their organization to access the data. For that, they are always working to protect their organization's data. So it is ethical hacking. Transparently report all the identified weaknesses. Ethical hackers will inform you what are the loopholes and weaknesses of your system, of your organization, or in your system. They will openly describe all of your weaknesses, but the actual hackers always take the advantage of your weaknesses. Ethical hacker will expose your weaknesses to you, not the others. Next is inform hardware and software vendors to identify the weaknesses. Those are software makers, software developers. Those are hardware developers, hardware manufacturers. They are being informed by the authorized hacker, I mean ethical hackers, that these are the weaknesses of your softwares, these are the weaknesses of your hardware. So please upgrade your softwares and hardwares. But ethical hacker, I mean common normal hackers never do that. They enjoy their weaknesses, either it is hardware or software. Phishing is also a very close to hacking. What is phishing? To pick up, to take out information without your knowledge.
Sir, fraud call, email or messages regarding our lottery or related to bank.
Exactly. If you open your email ID, nowadays you will find, I also found few such emails, as if who is sending, WHO, World Health Organization, is sending some mail to you, and they have given some link, like open this mail link, and after you answer few this questions, and you do these things, and you will be awarded by this much money. Because who is in your limelight, who is conducting and monitoring across the world about this pandemic. So suddenly people can be confused. Yes, perhaps it is a real mail. If he clicks the mail link, he will be sent somewhere else, and they will access some data, and he will be in their trap. So this is called phishing. They are hooking you from your system to their system, and they will access some your important information. Maybe it is your own data, or maybe monetary data, I mean account related data, bank related data. So the few steps are there to protect from phishing. So this is very common. Always keep the security software updated, and update automatically. Normally we keep it switched off. So software should be updated, at least OS software should be updated automatically. That comes along with the system. Protect your mobile phone settings software updated automatically. This could give you the critical updates, could give you the critical protection against the security threats. Protect your account, multi-factor authentication, bank accounts. Time to time you change your password. over phone also some such kind of phishing works. Some fraud calls come as if they are calling from the bank, and they'll take you. They will gather all the information and take out your money.
Yes, sir. One of my neighbors was shocked because he answered a fraud call and told him his bank account number, and then
Yes.
the same evening 5 lakh rupees from his account was withdrawn without his knowledge.
When it happened?
So maybe a month before.
I also know one person, he's very known to me. He's an old man, maybe 60, 65 years old. He stays in Ranchi in Kokar area. So one day one call came in the name of SBI that I'm speaking from this SBI branch. Your a debit card has been expired, so unless if you don't update it immediately, it will be blocked. So please give your details. Name, account, everything they asked. Then he said one SMS will go, OTP. Please tell me the OTP. So he told the OTP, and immediately within a few seconds, 60,000 rupees has been stolen, taken from his account. Nothing happened. They ran for solution, but nothing happened till date, as I remember. So, lot of such incidents are taking place around us. I was I think 15 years back. I think that was not like this, but it was also kind of cyber crime, I would say. 15 years back, 15, I think 12 or 14, I don't exactly remembering, maybe 15 or 14 years back. From Facebook, I always friend request comes, India or abroad. So one request came, so I accepted. It was from outside India. So sometimes he messaged me. It was a lady. She messaged me, "How are you? Well, where do you stay? I am going to visit India." Well, fine, you come. I would like to meet you. Meet you? Why is she saying meet you? Okay, if somebody says, okay, you come and meet. So I am coming on that very day. Well, very good. Come. I'll call you after I reach. She's showing too much interest. What is the problem? Nah, I had some kind of doubt. Let her say now. I'll see. So that very day, by 10 o'clock, I was at school. I got some missed call. I was free then. Then I received the call. Yes, definitely. For 15 years, I'm the school, so it might be in 14 years back. So I received the call. I was in my lab. I received the call. What? I am so and so. I have reached here, but I had a problem due to some shortage of money. The airport authority is not allowing me to go. Please immediately transfer this much amount of money to my account so that I can come and meet you. Well, I'm sorry, I cannot do that. No, why? I know you. Please, you cannot help your friend. Well, no, I cannot help. I'm sorry. Please, I switched off the phone. So see, I was. It was my first such experience that somebody takes so much. Now, how it was happening, I don't know. I think they have a big channel from there. The call was from India. The number was, and the tone was not Indian. Tone was some foreigners. I think it was the voice of African people. Like I remember the way they sound. the person was speaking in African language, and I mean English. How the African speaks English, na? Similarly, the person was speaking. So
Sir.
immediately I switched off. So this was a part of hacking also. When I was preparing these notes, I just remembered it happened with me. So now, yes, hello.
Sir, we have English class at 11:40, sir.
Oh, this time is over. I think few minutes left. Anyway, so a few more topics are there. So tomorrow I will finish this chapter.
Sir, notes you have not sent, sir.
I have uploaded
notes.
I have uploaded the video as